It was June 16th, 1944. In a small prison in Columbia, South Carolina, a 14-year-old boy, barely 5 feet tall, weighing just 95 pounds, was strapped into the electric chair. His name was George Stinney Jr., and in just minutes, he would become the youngest person ever executed in 20th century America. But what if I told you? There's a very real chance he was innocent. This is the haunting story of a child caught in the crosshairs of a broken system, a trial that lasted just hours, a jury that deliberated for 10 minutes, and a life taken far too soon. George lived in Alcolu, South Carolina, a segregated mill town in 1944. Black families on one side of the railroad tracks, white families on the other. He was the son of a sawmill worker, quiet, polite, and curious. Then one afternoon in March, 2 young white girls, Betty June Binnicker and Mary Emma Thames, went missing. Their bodies were found the next day in a ditch, brutally beaten with a railroad spike. George and his sister had been seen talking to the girls earlier that day. That was all it took. He was arrested the next morning. No parents, no lawyer, no witnesses, no written confession. Just George, alone in a small room with white police officers in the Jim Crow South. Within hours, they claimed he had confessed. But no one ever saw it, no recording, no signed statement. 3 months later, he stood trial. The court appointed him a lawyer who didn't call a single witness. The all-white jury deliberated for just 10 minutes. That was it. No appeal, no review, no mercy. They sent a 14-year-old to the electric chair. On the day of his execution, George had to use a Bible as a booster seat. The adult-sized straps didn't fit his small body. When the switch was pulled, the helmet slipped off his head. His tiny frame convulsed as 2,400 volts coursed through him. He died terrified and alone. Decades later, people began digging deeper. The case made no sense. No physical evidence, no due process, no defense. In 2014, 70 years after his death, a judge vacated his conviction, declaring it a great injustice. George Stinney Jr. was exonerated, but it was too late. The damage had already been done. A child, a 14-year-old, had been killed by the very system meant to protect him. And today, his story stands as one of the darkest chapters in American legal history.